it's me, Nikki. Welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. My mom had been sick for a week and then she was in the hospital for a week. So I wasn't really in the mood or the mindset to film anything. I haven't even been reading, but I am going to do that. It will help me relax. However, I don't know if I'll be posting as much because I'm trying to take care of her, and they had found some stuff while she was in the hospital. So I'm helping her with that as well. But anyway, this is for the books I read in January. I read 2 audiobooks. I read The Sword of Shannara, I believe. It's the first in a 34 book series. I really enjoyed it. The audiobook, it was fun because it was originally on cassette, and so when it would reach the end of the side, it would say flip it over. I just thought that was funny. It is like Lord of the Rings, especially in the beginning, but as it goes on, it gets away from that a little bit, and I guess it's supposed to be like Lord of the Rings because it was published by Del Rey. I think I looked it up, by Del Rey, and they wanted, oh, excuse me, this is going to be unedited as well. Not that I do a lot of editing, but you know what I mean. So yeah, and they wanted their own Lord of the Rings thing, and this is what happened. But then I guess it's just I guess from what I've read, it's just the first book that gives you Lord of the Rings. As it goes on, you learn more about the world of Shannara and all kinds of stuff. So yes, it was very good. I really enjoyed the characters. It was pretty long audiobook, like 20-ish hours. I don't know. I'd like to see a paperback of it or something. Yeah, but I really enjoyed it, and I think I'm going to continue with the rest of the series. The next audiobook I read was Fire Becomes Her. It's a standalone, and it's set in the 1920s, but instead of alcohol, it's magic, and it's magic is kept by the upper class, and there's a bunch of class divide structure, and it's about a main character, our female main character, who wants to become powerful to get access to magic because of reasons, because of trauma, and so she's gonna marry this boy who she likes. She keeps saying she loves him, but I don't think she's in love with him. But his father hates her, and it's also about politics and stuff. And then she goes and meets people on the opposite side of the campaign who are actually more like her, and it's got a lot of queer representation, which was really fun. I didn't always like the main character. Sometimes I'm like, oh my god, you are so stupid. These reasons are stupid. But I understood why she had those reasons. Yeah, it was a really fun read. And I can't say too much without spoiling. There's some stuff that happens, and I'm sort of like, I think I know what that is, and I was correct. But it was a fun read, and that's exactly what I needed. So those were the audiobooks. Let me get my physical books. book is Mrs. Sherlock Holmes. This is about Grace Humiston, who was a lawyer, the first woman U.S. District Attorney and a detective, but not quite how we would think of it. It's mostly to do with the people she helped. She helped the poor immigrant people, and she really put in the work to make sure that her cases were well researched and she had all the information. So it was that kind of detective. And this is about her case. She took the case of a missing Ruth Kruger, and her hard-boiled detective, as it says on the back, Julius J. Cron, and how they helped the family find her. And I guess if this was in 1917, missing girl case that captivated a nation, and it was because of white slavery. That's what they called it. It's where, I'm sure a lot of people know this, but it was a fear back then, and I think, I'm not 100% sure why it was a fear, but that, well, I know for what, but anyway. Specifically, young women were being kidnapped. The fear was that young women were being kidnapped and sold into sexual slavery. Now, Mrs. Humiston actually worked on a different type of white slavery case where Italian men were being conned, essentially, into coming into the southern states to work on plantations, and they were being told, if you come, you're going to make a lot of money, you can bring your whole family over. But they didn't make a lot of money. They did bring their families over, but it was basically like, I can't think of it, but it's where they pay you like $1, but 80 cents goes to them, because you can only shop at their stores and use their stuff, so they weren't really making a lot, and she did a lot of work on that. And then in the case of Ruth Kruger, there was a lot of police misconduct. They didn't really, and I think it's also because she was 18. They were like, oh, she'd been seen with a boy, so they just thought she ran off. But yeah, Ruth was able to solve that case, and I really liked it. I knew nothing about this case, or Mrs. Humiston, or Julius J. Cron, and I thought they were great and interesting, and all the stuff they had done was fantastic. I just thought it was a little sad at the end. There's a case she took on after where it was because it was around World War One. Sorry about that. There's gonna be a weird cut. But anyway, there's a case she takes when she's the district attorney about an army barracks up in New York, I want to say, because I think this is set in New York. This is set in New York City. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks, if you know what I mean. And she says that she was told there were 2 dead female bodies found at these barracks, but every time everybody asks for proof, she says she's waiting for something, and then she never brings the proof, which is kind of her downfall. And the author doesn't say whether she had the proof or not, so I'm not sure about that case. But yes, I enjoyed it. I prefer this kind of true crime, if that makes any sense, where it's a long time ago and not so recent. And I like the epilogue because it talks about everybody besides Grace and what happened to them. So yeah, it was good. I definitely recommend it. Scratched a scab off. Next, I read Markswoman, which is part of a duology, and this is about Kyra, in the Order of Kali, and they have all the markswomen and marksmen have blades, like special metal, and they protect Asiana. There is a map right here. I think this is supposed to be India, I think. And this is Japan, and that's Russia. This could also be India. I'm not 100% sure, but those are the Hindu Kush. So this is set in a world that is Earth, but like far in the future after this huge war happened. So yeah. But Kira's mentor dies under mysterious circumstances, and the person who takes over does not like her. Does not like Kira. So she fucks off, and there's these transport hubs which basically teleport you from place to place, which is why it's in the future. And she finds the Order of Kerr, which is the only order of men. And she meets Rustin, who basically teaches her how to fight, because she wants to fight the new leader in the Order of Kali and like avenge her mentor. But yeah, it's okay. It was okay. I liked Kira in the beginning. But I don't know, when she was with the men and she was like trying to say what she wanted to do, I was like, I don't know, that's a bit dumb. But they're teenagers, so you know. The ending was interesting, and I'm not gonna buy the second book, but I have found it somewhere that I can read it online, so I will do that because I do want to know what happens. Obviously her and Rustan have feelings for one another. But I'm more interested in the world and what happened and the other orders. Yeah, I'd like to know more about that than what is specifically happening with Kira. I apologize. Yeah, it was an okay book. It was a quick read, and sometimes that's what you want. A not so quick read was The Autumn Republic, which is book 3 of the Powder Mage trilogy. I very, very, very much enjoyed this. I cried at the end. And I say it's not a quick read, but the chapters aren't that long. There's just a lot of them. I thought it actually did move pretty fast. All the characters are fantastic. I believe there's another trilogy set after this, and I need to know that because of I've forgotten her name. Tenniel's lady, girlfriend. What's her name? Ka Poel. I have to know more about her. I want to know more about her people. At the end, there's sort of like a hint of what her people are like, and I'm like, please, just give me more of them. That's so fucking interesting. But yes, I love this world. I love this universe. It's so, 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 so good. There's a point where there is a truce, and then the truce is broken. I'm like, oh, I don't know, that could have been a thing. So, because sometimes it's not that you know that it's a fake, but you just have a feeling that it's like a fake out, because there are other things at work that these characters don't know about, but that you as the reader do. So that's why it's also like edge of your seat, because you're like, no, don't do that, no, and then they do it anyway. But yes, I very much enjoyed this. I thought, and again, the characters are just amazing. Thomas is just great. I recommend this trilogy. The next trilogy I finished was the Athena Club. This is the sinister mystery of the mesmerizing girl. It picks up pretty much after the second one, although Alice is in trouble. And again, it's chunky, but it reads pretty quickly, I thought. And it once again visits, there's Aisha, there's somebody else, there's like at least 3 horror stories that were written back in the day about women that I didn't know about, that you sort of get the clues about in this, and I still think if you read the originals, you would like them. Although I think they ended poorly. I think Aisha's original story ended poorly. I think, what's her name? Helen ended poorly. And the other lady, I think that also ended poorly for her in the originals. But in this, they sort of one-up the men. But yes, I love these characters. I wish there were more of them, especially since they added more members. And those members didn't get a lot to do because they're sort of added at the end. But whatever. I don't care. I love them. They're fantastic. I definitely recommend this trilogy as well. Ugh, it was just great. Holmes is in this. He's been in all 3 of them, and he's probably out of character. He's a lot nicer in these than I think he has been in anything else except Elementary with Lucy Liu. And then finally I read Wicked Saints by her. This is a trilogy, and this was okay. It's set in, I would say, like a Russian analog type place. It's giving the Grisha trilogy, because it's cold. There's a special girl. There's a boy. But that's kind of it. The other boy, main male character, is also special-ish. And yeah, it was okay. I think I gave it a 3 stars. And there's a couple things. Our main character, Nadia, hears the whispers of gods, right? And her main god is a lady, a female god. I don't know if there's a list of them somewhere. But her main goddess is a female who's like the goddess of death. Okay, that's what she likes. And there's a part where she's in like a fight using blood magic, and she has to kill her opponent, and she doesn't. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure your goddess is like the goddess of death and killing. What is your problem? So that was weird. Like, if she wasn't gonna, because she goes, oh, I don't want to kill people, and like, then pick a different goddess. And you could kind of see, I don't want want to say you could see some twist coming, but it was like Nadia keeps saying, oh, I can't trust this person, and then she trusts him, and then, oh, wow, she can't trust him. And then she's heartbroken about it. And I know the controversy surrounding the blood magic, because most blood magic is, like, supposed to be, like, if you're, the stupid idea is that Jews would kill babies or children and use their blood in ceremonies to God, which is kind of not how that works at all. And I don't know if I would have noticed. I don't think it's very obvious in this one, but I'm not Jewish, so I would look up Jewish reviewers for that. I do think it becomes a bit more obvious in these next two. But again, I don't think I would have noticed if I hadn't already heard that. Because I have seen blood magic and other things, and it hadn't screamed anti-Semitism to me. But I am still learning those dog whistles, I think they're called. So yeah, I will pay attention in the next two to see if there's more of that. But basically, all the people that Nadia wants to kill use blood magic, and they're evil, evil people. And it's not quite the case as she thinks, but yeah. But it was an okay book. I don't think I like Nadia that much. I didn't like the boy she's supposed to love. I really like the other characters, the prince, and his friends. I thought they were more interesting, quite frankly. But we'll see how the other two go. But yeah, that's what I read in January. My February reading plans are scrapped. I'm just going to read stuff that is easy. Because I don't want to be more stressed out than I already am. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.